Hi everyone, Anthony Morgan's Training Academy. Situational awareness. Situational awareness is not about being paranoid everywhere you go. You can't always cover every part of every situation. When you walk into a restaurant, be aware when you walk in, and like I said, this is not paranoia, okay? This is when I walk into a restaurant, I scan to see who is in there and who looks out of place. And it's, as an ex-law enforcement officer, this is really important that you scan the area. It's not that you're looking for danger, but you're looking for things that stand out. Somebody that shouldn't be there, something that's just not right. And you'll know. I mean, a lot of times they say, you know, the hairs on the back of your neck will stand up when you come across somebody that just you don't feel right about being around. And that's situational awareness. The situation is making you aware that there's some problem going on. Now, as I was saying, when I go into a restaurant, I kind of scan everywhere and see who's in there, see who looks out of place, and I try to find a place that I can keep an eye, like in the far corner. I can keep an eye on what's coming through the door and what's happening around. So it's like, you know, when you get in your car, are you walking around your car? Are you looking at your car? Are you looking in the back seat? Are you kind of glancing? When you're sitting in your car, are you preoccupied on your phone? Okay, and this is the bad one. If I'm preoccupied with my phone, I'm locked into whatever it is I'm there, and you can't be that distracted. Okay, and especially on a busy street. Somebody can walk up to your set of your foot, put a gun to your head, put a knife to your head, and you know, try to you know, take your car, or rob you, take your purse, whatever it may be, or maybe take you. Okay, especially with the women. So you have to constantly, and make this a part of your life, not as a, well, the first of the year I'm going to get more disciplined on situational awareness. No, this is an everyday thing that when we're out there in public, making a conscious decision that when you walk up anywhere, you're looking at the people around. You're looking at, you know, do they have their hands in their pocket? Are their hands in their jacket? Do they look out of place? Are they wearing heavy clothes when it's in the summertime? Do they have long sleeves on? See, these are little things that we should constantly evaluate and go, why is he wearing a heavy coat in summertime when it's 95 degrees? That's a problem. And I say a problem, it's not only a problem for me, but it's a problem for him, because there's something going on that, you know, maybe he does have a, maybe he is cold, maybe he is, but it's still something that we should mentally make a note of. So the other thing is, don't put yourself in situations to where there's going to be dangerous outcomes. You know, don't go into alleys. Especially at nighttime. You know, going in alleys and during the daytime is still problematic, but not as much. You get people that just go off all the time if you walk by their property. So, you know, situational awareness. Is there dogs around? Okay, if you see dogs walking towards you, okay, don't go up and try to pet them. Okay, try to avoid them, you know, because you don't know if they're going to bite you or if they're not going to bite you. There may be another dog that's maybe teaming up, and they're just scouting out to see who they can attack. And so situational awareness, anytime that I'm in here, and you probably notice on my videos that I'm constantly checking something, and that's because I'm checking the front door. My front door is always open, and when people walk by, it catches my attention. Some of my black belts do the same thing. They're getting into that point to where they're constantly checking now. And it's not a paranoia thing. It's just something you start sharpening your senses on. It's like, when you're standing at the checkout line and you open your wallet and maybe you've got $100 bills in there, 50s or 20s, who's checking that out with you? So when you leave the store and you go out and you go, well, it's fine, I'm just paying for it. So a lot of times, if you know what you're going to buy, don't carry your wallet with all that cash in it like that. Okay. Now, I have a tendency to keep my wallet in my side bag, and I pull it out. But there's a difference between a lot of you and me. Me being ex-law enforcement, I'm very astute on what's around me, and so, um, if you're going to go in a store and you're going to buy something, take out maybe $20 out of your wallet and stick it in your pocket, and don't open your purse out to where, because you might have somebody standing there watching and going, oh, she's got a lot of money in her wallet or in her purse, and he may have somebody outside that he's signaling to, you know, rob you. So. Situational awareness is everything that we do, no matter where we're at. Okay, it's like going down to a river and there's a sign that says undertows. You go, oh, that's fine. I'm a good swimmer. Pay attention. Okay, pay attention. That's situational awareness. When you go out in the woods and you start hearing funny noises, sometimes you should say, well, this might not be the right time at night for me to be out. Okay, it might be an area to where there's, weird things happening out there. So don't go to people's houses at night. If you break down, make sure you have a good cell phone that you can call somebody to come and help you. Try not to get out of your car if you do break down. Just wait, because a lot of times, if you break down on the side of the road and you get out of your car and somebody pulls up to help you, well, that's usually when the trouble starts. So, and like I said, you don't want to be paranoid, but you just want to be cautious. What are you carrying for self-defense? You say, well, I carry a gun. Well, you carrying a gun all the time, everywhere you go. Okay. If somebody knocks on the door at night, when you go to the door, do you carry your gun with you? These are situations that, I had a guy came in here one day and he says, oh, you're doing that karate stuff. He says, I don't need that karate stuff. He says, I carry a gun. And I said, where's your gun? He says, under the seat of my truck. And I said, you're already dead. And he looks at me kind of funny and he says, what? I said, if you have to run to get your gun out of your car, I said, you're already dead. Especially on an attack, not meaning me going to hurt him, but in a self-defense situation, if something happens, you may not be able to get to your truck to get your gun. So carrying something that you're confident enough to use under any situation, under any condition, if you're out in the river and you're swimming, everybody says, well, I don't want to be carrying a knife when I'm swimming. Well, okay, find a knife that will clip onto your pant, and always have something, because if you get tangled up in the river with a rope or something, or fishing line, you need a knife to cut yourself free. So this is situational awareness. Every situation, and that's what I'm recommending to all you that watch my videos. Start tightening up on what's going on around you. Most all of us, we have one plan. We get up in the morning, we do what we do, and we drive from point A to point C to where our job is. We never see anything in B. We just kind of like drive along, and it's kind of like, I'm going to work. And you never see what's happening out here. So make a point to start noticing, going, where am I at? Okay, if something happens to my car, can I call a tow rig to come and pick me up? Do I know where I'm at? Okay, you say, well, I never really paid attention. I'm at somewhere on such and such road. Well, that may take longer for them to respond. Even if something's happening in the police, you're notifying the police, and they say, where are you at? And you say, well, I'm not sure. Well, how are you going to get help if you don't know? And that's situational awareness. Know where you're at, know where you're coming from, know where you're going, knowing in between where you're at. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling and going on, but situational awareness, things happen. okay? And I would like to make sure you guys are safe. Um, and these little tiny things is what prepare us for anything that's coming, okay? And I say coming, just something that if you step out and you get mugged, and I mean, it happens every day, you know, people are getting injured, getting assaulted. I have guys coming in here all the time that tell me that they get attacked and they're wanting to learn self-defense. Well, that's almost a too late point, you know, a moment. If you learn something every day, 1% of something every single day, at least you're applying that every day. But you know, if you get attacked and you say, okay, I need to learn martial arts, well, sometimes martial arts takes years and years. I've been doing this 55 years and I'm still learning stuff every single day. But you know, it's that little bit every day. You say, okay, well, I'm gonna walk with a maybe walk with a cane today. Okay, I may, you know, just not that I'm handicapped, but I say, you know, I just want to feel what this is like to carry it once in a while. You know, I can hang it off my arm like this and walk around with it. Um, just trying to keep an open mind about how to protect yourself. Situational awareness. Okay, so that's it for this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.